When you're at home, when you're not traveling, when you're not on the road, when you have access to this stuff, do it right. When you're traveling down to Orlando and you decide to go out and have a couple of beers, go have your, we're not telling everyone not to live, but what we're saying is the 80-20 rule. 80% of your week, I want you guys nailing it on the head. I want your players nailing it on the head. Go ahead. Fine. I mean, yeah.
What do you suggest?
If you don't like the taste of coffee, you can do green tea. I mean, yeah. Yeah, I mean, caffeine's got had a real negative, people, caffeine, and I know for a while with the adrenals and.
Yeah, the deal with coffee is that, I mean, there's numerous studies which have come out recently which shows that coffee actually is beneficial. If you don't drink coffee, you don't have to start drinking coffee to get benefits from it. But the deal with coffee is that you really do, if possible, want to try and source a higher quality organic coffee. A lot of coffee, as Don alluded to, is grown in countries where there's not a lot of regulation and they're using lots of chemicals. Again, this ties back to what I was talking about before. When chemicals come into your body, they can have an adverse effect. One example of this is a lot of times people drink coffee and they might get jittery, shaky, they might get a headache. That's usually not the caffeine, that's the chemicals. And this can happen a lot with lower quality coffee that you might grab. So, if possible, try and get your hands on some organic coffee.
Starbucks is one of the worst. No, I'm sorry to tell everyone that, but it's crazy.
Yeah, and there's coffee is loaded with a lot of nutrients. It's a really great source of magnesium and some other trace minerals. So that can help hydrate. As people say, dehydrate too, but I think it can actually help.
What's up?
What about in the golf shop? If I'm talking to my members about keeping healthy, I know the last couple of years, premium beef jerky and other things. What are some snacks that I could have on the counter and say, this is a better option than, is it a first intensity bar or what's the
Yeah, so I think jerky is a great option. Another type of bar, I think Lara bars are really great, and you can usually get them everywhere. If you look at the ingredients on a Lara bar, it's pretty much the four things. It'll be fruit, nuts, honey, sea salt, or something like that. If you compare that to like a Fiber One bar, which is a bar that people commonly consume, there's like 20, 30 ingredients. I might be exaggerating, but there's a lot of ingredients. A lot of those ingredients you can't pronounce, and oftentimes you get those oils that I was talking about, those fruit oils. So simple is better. Lara bars are a good bar. We sell those real bars.
Spell Lara.
L-A-R-A. Yeah, so simple is better. There's another really beneficial snack that I like people to have on the course. It's actually a kind of a cocktail I have people make. So we sell some powder downstairs, but you can get it online. It's called Great Lakes Gelatin Powder. It's a form of protein, and it's really effective at stabilizing blood sugar. It's highly absorbable. It's also good for your joints. So this stuff, the cocktail I have people make, I tell them to get a water bottle. It's about 20 or 30 ounces. Fill it up with a little bit of coconut water, or orange juice, or some other juice to give it a little bit of flavor. Put about a tablespoon of this gelatin powder in it. Shake it up. Then you can add in some carbonated water. Shake it up, or you don't want to shake it up, it's going to explode. You do all your shaking before you add the carbonated water. This drink is not designed to be gulps. This is about let's say 20 or 30 ounce bottle, so you're looking at 30 ounces of a liter. You sip that over the course of your rounds, you might not need any food. You're getting protein, you're not getting any fat, but you're getting protein and carbohydrates. This stuff is really great. It's actually, we use it a lot during workouts too, so I have people make that like a half hour before their workout, and they just sip on it. It can really help with performance and recovery. So basically, just to recap, you take a water bottle, it's about a liter. You put in some form of juice or combination of juice and coconut water. You can play with it and get the flavor the way you like it. I like a little bit of orange juice, a little bit of coconut water. You put in a tablespoon of your Great Lakes gelatin powder. Shake it up. Fill up the rest of the bottle with carbonated water. It's nice to put it in the refrigerator so that it's cool, and you sip on that kind of throughout your round, a sip here and there. And to be honest, you might not even need a snack. Other things that I might have for you are in the pro shop. Listen, I think eggs are a great food. I don't know how hard you can eat hard-boiled eggs on the course. You can pre-peel them, eat them real quick. dried fruit, not alone, dried fruit and a handful of nuts. So a nice trail mix type situation is also great.
One of the best rehydrants that I got a lot of my athletes using, and I use it every day, is I'll add Celtic sea salt or pink Himalayan salt to my water. So when you're out on the golf course and you get that dehydrated feeling, people are running to a Gatorade. Now, 80-20 rule. Try and not add anything with high fructose corn syrup or anything with that really high sugar in your body. But the Celtic sea salt has trace minerals. And what you do is you do a pinch of that sea salt into your water. And that's actually going to be one of the best natural rehydrants that you have. And you guys know better than anyone. I mean, you're down south playing in the summertime. It's not fun, man. It gets hot. But we have to stay hydrated. And I would recommend at least one big swig a hole. I mean, don't turn around dumping sea salt into your water all around, but 1 liter size bottle. I mean.
Yeah, I left out the formula I just told you. You can put sea salt in it as well to ramp it up.
That's huge. I'm sorry. Who's asking? Someone was raising their hand. Yeah.
Can you guys talk a little about increments of meals? I learned that higher increments per day, 5, 6.
What, like every 2 to 3 hours type?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like your metabolism. I mean,
Yeah. I'll let you lead off with that.
Yeah, so again, the basics go a long way. 3 meals a day and 2 to 3 snacks works for most people. So that's really a simple formula. I'm not into the whole fasting thing. I think that alone puts the body in a stress state. I think that should be reserved for very specific situations. When the body's stressed, it needs lots of fuel. And stress can come from many forms, as Don alluded to. Working out's a stressor. Thinking is also a stressor. I mean, your brain uses a tremendous amount of fuel. So even just thinking about playing around, you need a lot of fuel. So I would say 3 square meals a day and 2 to 3 snacks. Another thing for on the course, depending on how easy this would be for you guys, I think like a few scoops of chicken salad or tuna salad is a great thing to bring with you. So if you can somehow, it might be tough in the winter, I don't know if you have a cooler with you. I love, making a batch of that, keep it in the refrigerator, and don't use real mayo. It's best to use olive oil, avocado, you put a little sea salt in there as well, and it's a really nice mix. You can have a few scoops of that on the course, maybe have a piece of fruit with that if you really want to power up. So I would say really one of the biggest things though is to nail your breakfast. I don't know how many people are into skipping breakfast, but what happens with a lot of people who skip breakfast, just do coffee, it will create a very unstable blood sugar pattern throughout the day, and it also create lots of cravings. This is very common with women, especially. They skip breakfast, and then throughout the day there's lots of, whether it's a craving for sugar or salt. It happens to men too, not just women now, but breakfast is the most important meal of the day.
And even if you skip breakfast, so say one of you guys skip breakfast, and then you go into lunch and you're not that hungry, but you eat a sensible meal, your body remembers what it did hours later. You can be going into dinner out of nowhere. It's happened to everyone, right? You walk into dinner, you may not have eaten 4 or 5 hours, and you're going for the bread basket. You're famished. Your brain functions off. You out of nowhere are craving all this stuff. So that's really what's important.